Today is the 29th of September. Welcome back. If you've never been here before, my name is Nadia. I really never know how to do these intros. But I, at the moment, am a monogamous stitcher, but I mostly stitch full coverage. At the moment, I'm still doing one video a month. So this is the update for September. If you're only here for the stitching, I will put a timestamp. Let me put it this side. I'll put a timestamp here just for the stitching because I've only got 2 projects to show you. So I have my main project, which is my giant Lord of the Rings chart, and then I have a very, very small project, which is like a small tarot that I use as a break. I only actually stitched on that once this month, but I will show that at the end because I want to have a little bit of a chat. I always feel like I rush these videos because I forget what I wanted to say, and so I know a lot of people are interested in like what I've been up to during the month, and then there's most of you that just want to see the stitching. So with the timestamp there, you can literally just skip all of this. But I have written down things during the month of what I wanted to like just let you know about, because after filming I'm always like, oh damn, I should have said that. So yeah, we'll just have a little bit of a chat first. I got my coffee. I've got work later at 4 p.m. It's now 8:45 in the morning, so I've got a good few hours. That will give me a bit of time to clean the house, do this video. I think I'm going to edit the video tomorrow, and then you should see this video on the 1st of October. So that'll be the right timing. I've got the cat in here. I don't know if you can see all the way in that little corner there. He is like snuggled up trying to sleep in the corner. That's usually where he sleeps. Sonny. Sonny. His ears pricked up, but he's not interested in coming. So what have I been up to this month? It's been quite a busy month, which meant that my stitching has been a bit lower. I just wrote down the amount of stitches that I have done this month and looked at last month's, and it looks like I am about 3,000 stitches less than what I was last month on Lord of the Rings. I did 2 weeks of nights at work, so that did impact my stitching quite a lot. This weekend just gone, I babysat my granddaughter, and I didn't do any stitching on the Saturday. I did do some on the Sunday, which was yesterday when she went home. But me and my partner have been watching quite a bit of telly, and just lately I've been putting the stitching down instead of stitching whilst watching telly with him. So I think that's also impacted it, and obviously now I'm on afternoon shifts mostly. I am still doing some morning shifts, but it's mostly afternoon shifts, and I finish at 8 p.m. So by the time you get home, it's 8:30, have tea, have a bath. You know, it doesn't give me much time to either stitch or spend time with my partner before I go to bed, because I have to be up at 6 a.m. for the school, which is another thing that I wanted to let you know about. If you have watched me right from the beginning, my son, you would have heard me speak about before, my youngest son, he used to be homeschooled, and he's been out of like a normal school for almost 2 years. He is now back in full-time school. It is a special needs school for people like him. It's like specially for autism and ADHD. That I don't like using the word special needs school, but that's just what the schools are labelled with here. Like you get mainstream school and then special needs school. But he has done a full week last week without a single phone call from home, which throughout his whole education has been unheard of. He's 11 now. Well, actually, no, he's not 11 now. He's 11 next month. And that's just crazy to me. Like, I was waiting for a phone call. He started, I want to say 3 weeks ago, and last week was the first full week that he'd done, and it was incredible. It really was. It was really, no, it's been 2 weeks now. Yeah, it's been 2 full weeks, because his first week he had a limited timetable, and because he'd done so well, they were like, oh, we're ready for him to go full time, because it was going to be gradual until October. But they were really, really impressed, and he seemed to be really happy, so they have put it to full time. And for me, that's crazy. So his taxi comes at 7:30 in the morning, which I was worried about because he doesn't sleep very well. And he's been getting up. He's been going to school. Like, I've been getting him up at 6:45. He's been going. He's not had any issues. There's been a few wobbles, but nothing that I've needed to be phoned for. And it's just, it's weird. It's it's really weird, but I am so proud of him. And we have like continued to say that, like, we're really proud of you. You're doing so well. And he seems happier, which is all that I wanted in the first place. It's been such a fight these last 2 years to get him into a school that he was happy with. And the school that he's in wasn't even recommended by the council. So without going into a long spiel, when he was off school, we were given recommendations of schools based on his needs. It has to support or has to meet need, is what they always said in these meetings. And this school wasn't on there. All the schools that they gave us suggestions for were miles and miles away, like an hour taxi drive there and back, which would have been more stressful for him. And it was actually my partner that suggested this school particularly, which is local. It's like a 20-minute drive away, very local, and his nephew, was it his nephew or his cousin? I think it's his nephew, went to this school. So it's crazy because they weren't even going to offer us this school. And we went to visit it last year, you know, had a look around, and we loved it. And then they said, obviously, it's going to be a long wait. If he's accepted for this school, it won't be till the next half term, which is September. So it was like 9-month wait, I think it was, for us to get this school. And then obviously it had to be approved because it's an expensive school, and the council here have to pay like the funding for him to go to that school. And yeah, it was a lot of hassle, but he got there and he loves it, I hope. He hasn't said he hated it, which is a massive thing for him. So yeah, that is probably the biggest news I've got all month, is that he is now in full-time education, which is amazing. So what else has happened? I did some Christmas shopping. Well, I did a lot of Christmas shopping this month. I am on nights for work the end of November till gone Christmas. I think they will end just as Christmas is over. So I sat here thinking, well, I've just come off those 2 weeks of Christmas, 2 weeks of nights. I know that I won't get a lot of time during the day to go Christmas shopping around that time, because that is usually when I would go Christmas shopping, is November, because I have 2 children that have birthdays in October. So my daughter is the 19th, and then the youngest, Harrison, that I just spoke about, is the 29th. So he's 2 days before Halloween. So usually what I do is get their birthdays and Halloween done, and then I move straight into Christmas for everybody. But because of me going on nights, I was like, right, okay, I really need to get Christmas sorted. So I have got the majority of my presents already, which is crazy. My granddaughter is done completely. She was the easiest to buy for because she's 1.5. The hardest part was not buying more stuff. So I have got most of it, but I know what I'm like, and I'm going to end up buying more because it's not anywhere near Christmas yet. So I will see things and I'll be like, ooh, I'll get that. But yeah, most of my Christmas stuff is done, and my wedding dress is done. So it is fast approaching my wedding, and we haven't done that much. Like, for the majority of people that get married, they plan it for, like, say if they're getting married the next year, they'll plan it for that whole year. I have literally done nothing since we booked the venue, which was, I want to say, actually no, we have done something. We went away in August. No, we didn't go away in August. We went away in May or June. Around that time we went on holiday was when we booked the sit-down meal for afterwards, because we're having a very quiet wedding. We're going to have the ceremony and then we're going to go for a meal with a very small amount of people. So we booked the ceremony like at the beginning of the year in February time, I think, and then we did nothing until like June, when we was like, okay, we need to start thinking about where we're going to sit everybody, where like what place can hold X amount of people. I think we've got 60 people coming to the wedding, or that we're going to invite. And we found somewhere local that will seat 60 people, and that was the last thing we'd done. So that was in like June, and I've done nothing since. Like, we have done absolutely nothing. We spoke about the honeymoon. We was going to go to Japan when he first proposed. That was the idea, was to go to Japan. In his head, he wanted to take me to Japan because he knows I've always wanted to go. I have since second guessed myself and decided not to go, because I know I am not too good in big places, and Japan is a big place to go. And I also don't want to go for too long away from my son, which I feel like if you go somewhere like that, you need a good amount of time to see everything. So I have said, because then he started talking about places like the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic and the Canary Islands, you know, typical places that people go for a honeymoon, where they sit on the beach and relax. He said that to me a few weeks ago. This is how the conversation started. And I said, are you having a laugh? I said, when have we ever sat at a pool in a hotel or sat at the beach and done nothing? Like, that's not us. Why would you want to take us on a honeymoon, like a traditional honeymoon where people just go and relax, when that's not us? That's really not us. We would prefer to be up and about, shopping, exploring, doing something. Like, our day would be packed and we'd have a good day. Like, sitting there doing nothing is my idea of hell. There's no way you'd ever see me sitting at a pool in a hotel, or by the pool in a hotel. I'd be in the pool, swimming for a little while, and then I get bored, and then I'd want to go out and do something. Like, we don't do the whole relaxing thing. Like, we've just never done it. I've never had a holiday with him where we've done that. So I was like, right, why would you want to do that? And then he said, well, what would you suggest, you know, like things like that. So then we ended up talking about London, because I said, look, the idea of a honeymoon for me is something that we both really would enjoy. So he suggested going to London, which I said yes, and catching wrestling. So he really enjoys watching wrestling, and they are coming back, because they don't come to England very often, WWE. They don't come to England very often. They are coming next August, which is perfect timing for us because we get married in May. We will have to wait a little bit for our honeymoon, but we don't care about that. So I have signed up to wait for tickets for WWE. When that goes live, I'll buy the tickets and then book the rest of the honeymoon around those tickets, because I kind of want to see something in London as well. Like, I would love to go to the Royal Albert Hall. That's my type of thing. Like, I would love to go and see, I don't know if you've ever seen it before, where they play like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, and then the orchestra plays the music live as you're watching the film. Something like that would be amazing for me. Like, I would absolutely love that, and I have been keeping an eye on it. I almost bought tickets for the last one, but it was just the wrong time of the year. So that is kind of our plan, you know, go to London for a few days, go and do a couple of things, go and see a few shows, go shopping, because he loves to shop, I love to shop. We both love anime. London has a lot of really good anime stores that we've never been into. So, and we'd never go and visit like just for a day, because if driving to London is a pain. It's a real pain. We're not that far from London, to be fair. I think we're about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from London. So it's not far, but to get there and to pay for your car, like, you'd be better off going on the train. And it's just, we just never bother. So it would be nice. It would be really, really nice to go to London and do a load of bits and pieces and have a busy honeymoon. That's the type of honeymoon that I would like, is a busy honeymoon. So that's done. My shoes are done for the wedding as well. Finding a wedding dress was quite hard for me, because we are having quite a small wedding, like I said. I need to stay in budget, because we've got a very small budget. And he's already said to me, just get the dress that you want and we'll work out. Everything else can like come in with the budget later. As long as you've got the dress you want, that's fine. I don't care. Which is really, really nice of him. but I'm so picky, and because I'm so short, like I'm not so short, but I'm 5'2", so I ordered a load of wedding dresses to try on, because nowadays you can order your wedding dresses online, and I thought it'd be nice just to try out the types of dresses that I like. So there's one place, I think it's called JJ's House or something, where you can do a try on at home. You can buy 4 dresses for like £10 each. Try them on for a week, and if you don't like them, then you get charged the full price. So I did that. I did that twice. First lot were a fail. Second lot, I found the dress I really, really like. So I then went and bought the shoes. The shoes are perfect. So that is all done. Like I am happy. I will not need any alterations to this dress either, which is great because that saves me so much money. So I have saved so much money on my dress. I think, I can't remember how much the dress was in the end. I think it was 150, which to me would be crazy because I was expecting, like, on the low side to pay 300, 400 for a low dress, like a cheap dress, if that makes sense, because these dresses run into the thousands mostly. But to find a dress that doesn't look cheap, because a lot of them do, that doesn't look cheap, that doesn't have anything wrong with it, that fits perfect for 150 quid was crazy. So I need to take that to my daughter's house, and I need, because it's quite creased at the minute, it's been stuffed in a bag, I need to take that to hers. I need to get her to look at it, double check, because I might need some alterations. Just double check that I don't need any alterations, and then try it on again after Christmas maybe, just to double check that my weight hasn't gone up or down, because I do yo-yo in weight, and then double check again a couple of weeks before the wedding that everything is okay, because chances are after Christmas will be when I start focusing on the wedding more, because I haven't even done the invitations. I'm so bad. I want to get married, but I don't want to deal with planning it. It's my kind of hell. I know most women dream about their big day and they want to get married and they want to plan it all. It's my idea of hell, honestly. I would prefer him to just do it all. If I literally could say to him, I'll pick my dress, you do the rest, I would. Because I don't care about the rest of the day. I really don't. The only thing that matters to me on that day is marrying him. The rest of it I couldn't care less about. I don't care who comes. I don't care who doesn't come. I don't care where we go. I don't care how we get married. I really don't care. As long as me and him are together, that's really all that matters to me. So, and we've been together for a long time. You know, it's something that we're both comfortable with, having a quiet wedding. I think he would have had a bigger wedding if I was to say, you know, I want this and that and everything. He would have been fine with it, but he wants a small wedding too. He doesn't want a lot of people there either. I don't really talk to a lot of my family anymore, so I only want the most important people there, because I feel like, why am I paying for all these people when I don't like them? That's just me. But some people do, you know, some people spend thousands. So what else have I been doing? Yeah, so I have a hospital appointment in October, which I don't actually know what's going to happen. So I have an issue from, I won't go into the issue because it's something you probably won't want to hear anyway, but it's basically from pregnancy, from my youngest, well, from all 3 of them. I've had an issue since pregnancy, never dealt with it. So, so it's been like 10 years, never dealt with it, just left it. And I finally went to the doctors, I think it was the beginning of this year. It was when I started work. It was when I started work, because it became an issue when I started work from heavy lifting. So I went to the doctors, told them about it. They gave me an examination. They said, okay, well, we'll put you in for surgery. Like, what was it, where they put you on the waiting list or whatever it's called. Put me on the waiting list for surgery. Okay, job done, fine, brilliant, great. Got a letter from the hospital saying I have an appointment on the 16th of October. Doesn't say if it's a consultation, doesn't say if it's the operation, don't say nothing. It says the day surgery. And I was like, oh, okay. So am I going in for surgery? Because that means I'm going to need at least a week, maybe 2 off work. I don't know. So I still haven't phoned them because I'm an idiot. My partner said, like, just phone them because I will make sure, because I don't know if you know this, but my partner is my boss, sort of. He's my manager. He shouldn't be, and he won't be for much longer when we finally get another manager in, or they swap me to someone else. But my current line manager has left. He's moved to a different store because I work in retail, so he's been sent to a different store. So currently my partner is my line manager, but he always does the schedules, like the work schedules for all of us anyway, even though he wasn't my manager. So he has said to me, look, we give, what was the word he said? Basically, we take into accommodation, like, the NHS is a pain in the butt. So whenever you've got an appointment, you've got an appointment. We understand, and I make sure people get to their appointment, and I move shifts around. And I know he does that because he always works from home, and I've seen him do it a million times before he even started working in the same shop as him. He's always, like, accommodated people wherever he can, and he works from home all the time. So I'm not too worried about it. It might mean I'll have to take time off work because I have booked all of my holiday up, so I can't use it for holiday. But what he did do was give me 3 or 4 days off after the appointment, just in case it is surgery. So he has put me down for holiday from the 16th to the 19th, I think so. I'm terrible at checking all this stuff. I'm really bad for that. Because he told me off, he was like, you haven't booked your holiday. And I was like, well, just use it wherever you need it. He was like, no, book your holiday. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I'm terrible. Really bad for that. So he used some of my holiday for then, just in case I do have to have surgery, because I've looked up the surgery and the process, and apparently it's extremely painful recovery. So I might have to have 2 weeks off work. I really need to phone them, but I just haven't got the courage to phone up and say, right, okay, is this just a consultation or is this surgery? So, but if I don't ring them, my anxiety is going to be worse because I'm going to go in thinking I've got surgery. But maybe that's a good thing. If I go in thinking I'm going to have surgery and it's just a consultation, it'll be a lot calmer and a lot easier. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably will phone them because I am a bit of a silly girl. So, other than that, I think that's all, like, news that I need to tell you about. Nothing else really has happened. My middle son, has got an interview next week for work experience, which, fingers crossed, it all goes well. My daughter is doing okay. I did have to buy her a new washing machine because we thought that hers had blown up. It turned out it was the bloody sockets in the house. So I said to her, you need to phone your landlord in immediately because that's dangerous. And she then decided to tell me that, oh yeah, there's a dodgy one upstairs that she keeps having to buy chargers for a phone. I was like, Christina, you need to phone them. They need to replace these sockets. Like, all of them need to be checked. So she did that. I haven't actually followed up with her whether they have changed it. I think they came out as an emergency appointment to do the washing machine one because it's sticking out the wall. The guy that noticed it was the guy that brought the new washing machine. So I bought her a new washing machine thinking the motor had gone in hers. And when he went to install it, because I paid for installation for her because I wasn't going to be there, I said, right, they're going to come, they're going to take the old washing machine away, they're going to put the new one in. I've paid for all of it. You know, all you got to do is stand there and watch. And he was like, well, I can't plug this in because the plug is actually damaged. Thankfully, she had a gap the other side where a dishwasher should be. So he's plumbed it in that side. But she's now got a hole in the wall because he took the plug out because it was dangerous. He said, look, this is dangerous. This is fried. So thankfully, there was someone there that knew because I wouldn't have known. And we would have just, if I'd have gone to plumb it for her because I plumbed the other one, if I'd have gone to plumb the wash machine in, I would have put the plug socket straight back into that socket and probably started a fire. So I'm really thankful for that guy. Other than that, yeah, I think that is it in terms of like news. In terms of films, because I said we've been watching a lot of films, I watched the I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one, right at the beginning of September, I think. It was alright. I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer is not the best horror film in the world anyway, but it was good that they got some of the original characters back in. Or did they get all of them? No, I think they got majority of them in. That was good. I went to see Demon Slayer movie, the new Demon Slayer movie in the cinema. That was brilliant. It was very long. It was longer than what I thought it was going to be, but it was really, really good. If you like Demon Slayer and anime in general, I recommend going to see that film if you can in a cinema, because we had to go to one that wasn't local. We had to travel a bit further to go and watch that one, but it was really, really good. We also had to, oh, there is something else. We also had to borrow somebody's car to go and watch it because our car is no longer here. There was a few problems with it. I had a feeling there was a few problems a couple of months ago. I mentioned it to Dan, my partner, and he was like, can't see anything. So he went for an MOT not long after that, and it passed with no advisories. So I was like, okay. And I just left it. Turns out there was big ass problems. And one problem led to another problem, which led to another problem. So basically something was wrong, and it damaged other things in the front of the car. When we went to get it sorted, the guy said, like, there is literally no point. You are, for what this car is worth, because it's an old car, for what this car is worth, you'd be better off just getting rid of it. So we decided to do that as well, because we were already saving for a new car. We do want a new car, but we didn't want one this quickly. So the plan was, like, if something goes wrong with that car, we'll fix it and continue saving up for the new car, because we want a newer model. Because this one, I can't remember how old this one was. I think this car is like around 12 to 15 years old. I can't remember, but it's old. It's old enough. And we used it a lot. So the plan was just to, like, keep ticking it over until we could afford to buy a newer car. Didn't work, obviously. So we've scrapped the car and we're now biking everywhere, which is fine by me, because I always bike to work and I bike to see my daughter, and, like, it doesn't bother me. It's probably taken my partner a bit of time to get used to, I should say, because he does bike every now and again to work, but majority of the time he uses the car. It's his car. I don't drive. So it's probably been a bit more upsetting for him than it has me. He was really gutted when he had to get rid of the car, because it's so convenient having a car. You take it for granted. I know I do, because I don't actually drive, so I take his car for advantage when I'm like, oh, can you take me here? Can you take me there? And now you don't have one. It's just kind of like, oh. Like, getting my granddaughter is harder without a car, because my daughter doesn't drive. So we have to kind of meet up halfway and swap. So I give her my bike, she gives me the baby, and I let her bike home on my bike, and then I push the buggy back to mine. So that's kind of how we've been babysitting without the car. But yeah, I don't know when we're going to get a new car. I have said to him that I do not want to rush buying a new car, because this is what happened with the one that we currently had. We were thinking about buying a car. We jinx ourselves every time. That car busted. It wasn't worth fixing, so we went out and rushed buying a new car. But we kind of had to that time, because my partner worked so far away that he needed a car at the time. Now he works local to where we live. There's no point. There is literally no point in getting a car. It's only to make our lives easier. So I said, look, we've got no reason to have a car at the minute. It's the perfect time to save up for a car that we actually want, or that he actually wants, because I don't care. As long as it's got 4 doors, I couldn't really care. But as long as he's got a car that he is really, really happy with, you know, it's got all the newer, like, mod cons in it. He wants a car with sat nav. He wants a car with cruise control, I think. You know, like, all these little things that drivers would want, but I ain't got a clue. He wants all that stuff. And I was like, great, you deserve it. He works so hard. You deserve to have a car that you actually like, you know. So we will save and we will wait. until we can afford the car that you actually want. So I'd imagine it's going to be about 7 months, 8 months until we can afford that type of car. We're looking at about £7,000 to £8,000 I think we want to save. So yeah, it's gonna take a good few months, but we will get there. We will get there, and I am not in a rush to get a car. I want him to have the car that he would love at the end of it, and it's going to last longer. If it's a newer car, hopefully it's going to last longer. So yeah. What else have I watched? Alien Earth. I have been watching that. I don't know if I like it or not. It's okay, but I don't like the alien in it, because you can tell it's a person in a costume, and it kind of puts me off. I think my partner likes it a lot, but I don't know, because I'm the Alien fan more than him, and so we started watching it for me, and the first few episodes were really good, really, really good, and now it's just a bit, I don't know. I have finished Wednesday, so Wednesday is done. Again, I weren't the biggest fan, and I know people love Wednesday, but I think I preferred the first season more than the second. My partner, it doesn't matter what I say, Wednesday is amazing. He doesn't care. Like, he's a big Wednesday fan, a big Addams Day Family fan, should I say. So whatever they make, he will watch it. I do like the idea of a new Festa TV show coming out though. That looks good. Well, that sounds good, I should say, because there's no trailer, but a TV show with just Festa sounds really good. But yeah, Wednesday wasn't that great for me, I don't think. We watched all of the Indiana Joneses. We rewatched all of them. I don't think I stitched through any of them, even though I should have, because I've seen them all before. But yeah, I think this is another reason why I didn't stitch so much, because I was watching so many films this month. It must be the weather. Like, it must be the colder weather. It's just put us in the mood for watching so many films. So we rewatched Indiana Jones. I do enjoy them. There's one I don't like. It's the third with his dad. I'm not a fan of that one. We also watched The Running Man. That's such an old film, but it's such a good film. Good old bit of Arnie. Love that film. Yeah, we watched that. If you've never seen The Running Man, I think it's on Netflix if you're in the UK. I know America's Netflix is different to ours. Have a watch. It is good. It's old, really, really old, but it's a good film. I've also started watching The Great British Bake Off, which I haven't watched for years and years and years and years. And I know a couple of Flosstubers do something with their stitching when Bake Off is on, but I think it's more of an American thing. So I don't know whether Netflix have got The Great British Bake Off on there and they're rewatching the older series and they're doing some sort of challenge with The Great British Bake Off. I need to double check that. But I have heard a couple of stitchers now talk about The Great British Bake Off and stitching together. So I've been watching that because there's only one episode a week. What else have I watched? I can't remember what else I've watched other than The Walking Dead. So my partner has, because I've seen them all. I've seen The Walking Dead, I've seen all of the spin-offs apart from the Daryl season 2 and 3. Is there a third season? I don't know. But I've watched all of the other spin-offs other than the Daryl Dixon one. And I've watched Fear the Walking Dead. So I've seen them all. He started watching it with me years ago when we first got together. And he watched the first 2 seasons, maybe 3. I don't know. He watched a couple and then he kind of just faded away from it, got bored. I carried on watching it by myself, and I love it. It's one of my favourite TV shows ever. It's up there with Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. What else do I like? I've forgotten now. But yeah, it's one of the big ones that I love. So we're rewatching that. We're on season 2 already because season 1 only has like 6 episodes, but they are long episodes. So I don't know whether I should stitch while we watch it, but I feel like when I stitch, and I think that's another reason why I haven't done it so much this month. When I stitch when I'm with my partner, I feel like I'm ignoring him. He always says I'm not. He always doesn't care. He always says he doesn't care. And he's always on his phone anyway, because he has a game on his phone. It's a wrestling game. Super Card, I think it's called. It's like a card game. It's a bit like, it reminds me a bit of Pokemon, but it's not. So he plays that when he's watching things, like, and he's listening, and he's just tapping on his phone or whatever. So he usually does that, and I usually stitch, but I just feel like guilty for stitching all the time when I'm with him. So this month I think I've just put it away a bit more. But I think going forward I will start stitching while I watch The Walking Dead, because I have seen it twice. I watched it once with myself, like by myself, with myself. I watched it once by myself the first time, and then I rewatched them all with my daughter because I got her into The Walking Dead. So I think that was when she was like 15, 16, I think. And then we got up to, I think we got up to the Whisperers. If you've ever seen it, we got up to the Whisperers, and then by that point she wasn't here anymore. She wasn't living with me anymore, so she watched it by herself, but I continued to watch it, because as she was watching it with me, the show was still going on. Like, it was still, the main show was still being filmed, so we kind of caught up with everything and then had to wait. So yeah, that was why I never watched the ending with her. So I've only ever seen like the last 2 seasons, maybe. No, 2. Last 2 seasons with her, without her. So it would be nice to see them again. But now, like at season 2, all the way through to that, I have seen them twice. So I might stitch. I don't know. So that, I think, is everything. So I think we can get on to the stitching now. It's been a long old chat, this one. But I just feel like I always rush my videos. So I didn't want to... yeah, I just didn't want to rush it. Okay, so I've got my notes. Let me get my stitching. Let's start with the cat. Not cat, tarot. I don't know why I said cat. Well, there is a cat on it, so that's probably why. So let's start with the tarot. So this is the finished picture. And I will show you, hopefully, if I've got before pictures, this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. So here is what it looks like now. I get my face out of the way so the camera focuses. I'm really happy with it. I mean, you can tell that some work's been done on it just because it's so small, but I only did 211 stitches on this one. It is 14, is it 14 count or is it 16 count? It might be 16 count. I've forgotten. It's been so long since I've done this. And the plan for this is to stitch them all and have them framed all the way above this room. So this is my living room. And there is a picture rail just out of camera that goes all the way around. And I want them above the picture frame rail. I've forgotten my train of thought now. Yeah, I want them in nice like gothic black frames. So, oh, my belly is rumbling so bad. So when this one is finished, I will then go and buy all of the frames for the rest and all of the patterns. I haven't bought them yet just because I want to see how this one comes out and I don't want to buy them all in advance. That's the only reason. I have a few of the patterns. These patterns really wind me up because I, for some reason, cannot get the rest of the ones that we already have in my pattern keeper. The loaded thing, pardon me, the loading thing just keeps spinning and it keeps saying read and page and nothing happens. I feel like I'm going to hiccup. So at some point I really need to get that sorted. So yeah, not that much progress. I think I'm going to put it away this month and get Dark Queen of the Seas out. The only reason why I didn't work on it is because I didn't feel like a break. So those Dark Queen of the Seas and Tarot, the Tarot one, I think it's Lovers, that one. Yeah, it is. It's Lovers. So Lovers and Dark Queen of the Sea are my resting pieces, basically, when I don't want to work on Lord of the Rings. And if I don't feel like stopping on Lord of the Rings, I don't throughout the month. And because I haven't stitched as much this month, and just in general I am really enjoying stitching on Lord of the Rings. Like it's been crazy how much I have not got bored of this chart. Like I am so pleased, because typically if you go back and watch my videos before this, I, like, right at the start, first of all, the videos are terrible, so you watch at your own risk, because I was really uncomfortable on camera, like especially my first 2 or 3 videos, they're really bad. Skip those 3, go to number 4. I tended to switch up my charts quite often. Like I was doing a video once a week when I first started YouTube, and there'd be like 3 or 4 different charts within that 1 week that I was working on. It all then got a bit too much for me. I felt like I wasn't seeing any progress. So I think I have figured out, as long as I can see progress in something, I don't care what it is I'm stitching. So because I've seen such massive progress in this Lord of the Rings one, I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. I will say though, this month was confetti hell. Like it was an absolute nightmare. I am still stitching the horse. I didn't make it to 25%, nowhere near 25%. I overestimated how much stitching 25% would have been on this chart, because it's such a big chart. By the way, that tarot, the lovers, is at 27.13%, just so you know. But the percentage on charts is so crazy. Sometimes the percentage goes so fast. Sometimes you've been stitching like a couple of thousand and it's gone up by not even 1%. Like it takes forever. So I dramatically overestimated how much stitching I would get done. That's what I was trying to say. So, Lord of the Rings, here is a picture of what it should look like when it is done. It is giant. It is 999 stitches wide by 600 stitches long, or 666 or something like that. It's long. It's a big boy. It is from, well, my pattern was from Etsy. It's no longer there. I think I have a link in my description of where you can find it now, if it's still available. I have not checked that link for a long time. So if it's not there anymore, please let me know. Or if you know anywhere else that other people can get it, please leave me a comment and I will update the description. Because I have it, so my description is always written out for every video, just so people know what I'm stitching on. And all of my like counts and my fabric and everything should be in the descriptions for all of my charts. If you want to have a look at what my other charts are that I'm not stitching at the minute, the description is where you can find them, just so you can see what is in my stash currently that I'm not working on. And I will get back to them at some point, but not right now. So here is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here it is now. So, can I get in the camera as well so I can actually see what I'm doing? I have almost done the horse. Almost. Yeah, it's a bit lighter now. I will say, the dude on the horse, I don't know if you can see. My partner couldn't see this damn face. Like, I could see it, but it's so tiny. Like, when I was stitching it, I was like, please don't tell me that's the face. And then when I looked back, when I was finished, I was like, okay. It looks okay. But for some reason, this horse is giant. Now, I know it's probably a hobbit on the horse. I'm guessing. I hope it is, because if it's not a hobbit on the horse, this horse is gigantic compared to the rider. So, and when you look at the whole entire chart, this horse just looks massive. But there is things in this chart that aren't to scale. Like, it's just a load of Lord of the Rings things shoved together, basically. So once everything else is done, I won't pay attention to it. But at the minute, it just feels like this horse is massive. And I was like, why is it such a big horse? And then you've got like other things around it that are small. Because there's some houses. I I'll put the picture of Lord of this chart like full blown. There's some houses close by that look tiny compared to this giant horse, and that's why I was thinking it. But the items in the picture are not to scale. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Because obviously you've got giant characters right in the background, so obviously it's not to scale. But I have done 20, no, that's the percentage. I've done 13,987 stitches, and it is at 20.70%. So I almost got to 21. There is a wasp trying to get in. Oh, go away. I'm allergic to wasps. I hate them. Well, they scare me more than anything because I'm allergic, but oh, he's gone. Okay. Yeah, so I massively overestimated my percentage because I said I wanted to get to 25 and I was probably going to get to 21, 22. I'm at 20.70. So I'm not going to make an estimate for next month because I probably won't get there. This is stitched on 28 count and it is 2 strands half stitch. It is my favourite 2 strands half stitch, is my go-to on most fabrics if I can get away with it. I hate full crosses just because I've stitched in half stitch for so long that I feel like it takes so much more time to stitch in half stitch. That's just me being lazy and wanting to see progress, but it's just how my brain works. This part here, confetti hell, literal confetti hell. And if you wasn't aware, I'm working down each column and going across that way. So do I unfold this for you? No, I'm going to leave this folded, but since I started on this hoop here, I have just been going column down, column down, column down, and it's actually made it stitch faster than what I was doing. I was doing the same thing going left to right. I was doing, what do they call it? The typewriter method. I think that's probably the closest thing to explain to how I stitch. I basically take the stitch that I can see the highest that needs working, pick that one and go to the right. And then I'd go that way, and then when I'd filled that side, I would come back, or I'd work. I do cross country, so I would work cross country so far. I wouldn't come all the way down here when there's nothing there, just because I don't like to miscount. So it's similar to that, except I'm going lengthways, and I actually feel like it's making it go a lot faster than widthways, because this hoop is longer than it is wide. I'm able to get more area and find the stitches that I need. So I am very, very happy with the way I'm stitching. I'm going to keep that way. I'm going to keep doing the columns and going down and then keep going across. And when this is done, I will come right back up to the top and carry on. And I think I'm gonna, do I go all the way across next time? Because I'm working from the top left of the chart all the way down that one side. So do I start back at the top and go all the way to the right and get that border finished, like that top border finished, or do I just keep coming up and down, up and down, up and down? I don't know, because at the same time, I don't want it to feel like I'm doing like the outside borders forever, because I could go all the way around and then keep going into the middle. I don't think I like that idea, because if not, I'm just going to be stitching borders for well over a year. So I think I will go top to bottom again and just go all the way across, because then that way you're doing some of the border and I'm going to hit the middle as well. So yeah, I think I will do that. Because there's characters everywhere in this. It's not like the main thing is just in the middle of the piece. If it was just in the middle, I think I would do the border first and come in like a spiral, if that makes sense. So yeah, it shouldn't be much longer. I should be off this hoop before Christmas. I'd like to bloody hope so. Honestly, I need to get this done, because I said it was going to take 1.5 years to do this picture, and it's taken forever. And I am monogamously stitching it. So could you imagine how long this would take without just stitching on this. Like if I was only doing this once a week like I was before, I think it was 200 stitches a day was my challenge before. When I first started Flosstube, that died out pretty quickly because I got burnt out from it. Because it's just the fact of knowing that I had to do the 200 a day. When I just have this as the one piece, I'm fine. Because I don't give myself a set amount of stitches that I need to do. If I wanted to stitch this within 1.5 years, I think I worked out that I would need to do 750 stitches a day. I have not done that at all, so I'm not even going to worry about that anymore. Like some of these days I've done 173, 200, 370, and then there's days where I do 1,364 in a day. That's a really good day, but I don't get many of those, so I'm not going to put myself to the 750 stitches a day. Because I will get burnt out and I will hate it. I have been thinking though, because Flossmas is coming up soon, I want your opinion on this. I'll put that down now. Do I, in the months of November and December, do I put this away completely and work on my other pieces just to work on them again? Because I have decided that after Christmas I'm going to continue stitching on this. So a couple of months ago when I first started this, I said I was going to do it for 6 months, which would give me till Christmas and decide if I wanted to continuously monogamously stitch. I have already decided that I will. So do I now take these 2 months where I know I'm not going to get a lot of stitching time because obviously I work and I'm going to be on nights? Do I pick out a couple of my other stitches? Do I just work on anything that I feel like? But I feel like when I do that, it burns me out badly. So I think I might limit myself to what charts I work on. Or do I just ignore all that and continue on Lord of the Rings? I really don't know what to do. I think, so this is why I want your opinion, because I think if I just stitched on anything and everything, I would get burnt out, which I have done in the past. Because I get overwhelmed with choices. I'm not very good with choices. So going forward, once I've done this one, the aim is to monogamously stitch all of my pieces out because I don't like choice. It messes with my brain. Like I need to just be told or just say to myself, right, I'm doing that one. So the plan is obviously to stitch all of these out of my rotation and then just have one chart at a time. But for the next, God knows how many years, I've got to stitch all of these out of rotation. I need to finish them. I'm not going to just leave them. So do I work on maybe one piece out of my stash that I really feel like I miss? That could be an option. Do I work on 2 or do I just completely ignore all that and continue on Lord of the Rings? I think any more than 2 and it'll be overwhelming for me. So it's either those choices, just continue on Lord of the Rings or pick 1 or 2 out of my stash. I also really am dying to have a new start and I know exactly what one I want to stitch, but I think I'm going to wait until my anniversary. Not my anniversary, my wedding. I mean, I could wait until the first anniversary to do it, but it's Simple Pleasures by Chris Dunn, and I'll put it here. I have wanted to do this picture since I bought it. I own it, so I don't have to worry about the chart disappearing, but I want to do this chart so much that I know that if I start it, I'm going to want to abandon Lord of the Rings. So I don't want two charts where I know I'm going to love it so much. It just reminds me so much of me and my partner that I just want to do it so much. So I have thought about doing it when I finish this, but that means everything else is still going to be abandoned. I honestly don't know. I don't know. That's a conversation for another day. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed my stitching. I am sorry that obviously I don't get to show you much anymore, but I do feel like stitching one piece gets to show you so much more progress on that one piece than it would showing you, oh, I've done 100 stitches on this, I've done 200 on that, I've done 1,000 on that. I don't stitch enough to show you so much progress on like 4 or 5 different pieces. And I just feel like I get nowhere from it, and I don't get any, like, I don't get a dopamine kick out of it because I can't see any progress. So I just feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again and not getting any progress, you know. I would advise, if people are suggesting it or thinking about it, to try monogamous stitching. If you have loads of charts, just try it for 2 or 3 weeks. Pick your favourite chart that you absolutely love and just stitch on it until you get bored of it, and see how much progress you can get done within that time frame. Because I have thought about doing whip go, I've thought about doing challenges, I've thought about doing stitch alongs, like I've thought about all the things that all these other YouTubers do, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but for me, I always get burnt out. I always end up hating it. I always change my mind. So if you're like me and you've tried to do the whip go challenges and things like that before, and you still feel like nothing's really working for you, I would suggest monogamous stitching on your favourite piece. Or not necessarily your favourite piece, the one that you find the easiest to stitch on. Because strangely enough, Lord of the Rings is one of the easiest ones that I can stitch on. Because it's like, sometimes it gets really thick with the confetti, but most of the time the needle glides through. I can see the pattern really easily because there's so much things that have already been worked in. I can jump from one end to another if I feel like it. If I want to change colour, I can, because I can go here and I can go there. Like, it's really easy to stitch on, and I don't need good lighting because it's not like ridiculously light colours all the time, like the rainbow dragon that I have. I really struggled with that one. So don't pick anything like that. Pick something that you find is the easiest to stitch on and just go with it for 2 weeks, just or 3 weeks, or just continue going with it until you get bored. See how you get on. And yeah, other than that, I have been watching not much Flosstube at all, but just know that the people that regularly mention me in videos, I am trying to keep up with your videos, and I really do appreciate the mentions. I will mention you all in the next video, I think, because I want to do it at the beginning to make it fair, just so when people get mentioned they can come and have a quick look at my video and want, because I'm like, why have I been mentioned? And then you sit and watch the video. So for people that don't have a lot of time, I'll mention you at the beginning of the video in the next one. I will make a big list of people that I usually watch that are similar to me for my viewers as well. So, right, I'm going to go. I will edit this tomorrow. I've got lots of housework to do, and then I've got work. So have a good day, have a good month, and I will see you at the end of October. Have a good Halloween, and I will let you know how my Halloween goes and my children's birthdays, and I'll see you next time. Bye.